prices are expected to go up at the pharmacy. The drugs you use could be going up in price today as new tariffs go into effect. Hannah Falcon spoke to Missouri Senator Josh Hawley about the rising prices and breaks down how families could be affected.
Imported, branded, or patented pharmaceuticals are now facing a 100% tariff tax that could be passed down to small local pharmacies or patients. But some companies are already negotiating their way out of it.
We need solutions to drug prices.
Loretta Bozing started advocating for safer and more affordable medications after her son's organ transplant. Her drug costs are already high. Now she's worried about how added tariffs will affect other families.
I am concerned that this will just add to the already inflated cost of drugs, of prescription medications, and I don't think that it's needed right now.
None of these big pharma companies ought to be able to charge Americans more than they're charging people in Europe or Canada or wherever.
Republican Missouri Senator Josh Hawley praises the use of tariffs as a negotiation tactic. Pfizer made a deal yesterday to exclude their company from the tariff taxes.
It's the best news on the healthcare front, and I don't know when.
That was actually the objective from day one.
While the tariffs are working to some extent, St. Louis University professor Mamoun Ben Mamoun says positive incentives like tax breaks would be more efficient to build international alliances.
Of course, I would love to see companies come in here, for sure. But I don't think tariffs is the right way to do it. We need to create some incentives.
If negotiations work out, it could benefit American families in the long run. But Bozing is worried about what happens now to those who rely on prescription medication.
I also believe that we need to manufacture more drugs here in the United States.
Economic experts predict other pharmaceutical companies will follow in Pfizer's footsteps, but not all. Reporting in Jefferson City, I'm Hannah Falcon, Heartland News.
We are now learning the Trump administration is delaying those tariffs. They were set to go into effect today, but a White House official says they are still being worked on.